Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage nestled at the edge of a thunder-pulled forest, lived a mother pig with her 3 adorable little pigs. They were a happy family, but as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the little pigs grew bigger and bigger. Soon, their cozy cottage wasn't so cozy anymore. It was getting a bit crowded. Mother Pig, with a loving but firm look in her eyes, gathered her 3 sons. "My dear children," she said, her voice warm and kind, "you are all grown up now. It's time for you to go out into the world and build your own homes, to seek your own fortunes. But remember my words. Whatever you do, do it with all your heart and build it strong. The world can be a wonderful place, but there are dangers, like the big bad wolf who roams these woods." The 3 little pigs listened, their ears twitching with a mix of excitement and a little bit of nervousness. They hugged their mother goodbye, promised to be careful, and with their little bags packed, they set off on their grand adventure. The first little pig was a cheerful fellow who loved to play and sing all day. He didn't want to spend too much time working. As he trotted down the path, he met a man carrying a bundle of straw. "What a wonderful idea," he thought. "A house of straw will be so quick to build. I can be done in no time and get back to playing." So he asked the man, "Please, sir, may I have some of that straw to build my house?" The man kindly agreed, and the first little pig got to work. He huffed and he puffed well. Not really, he mostly just stacked the straw this way and that. In just a few hours, his straw house was finished. It looked a bit wobbly, but he didn't care. He danced a little jig and sang, "I built my house of straw. I built my house of hay. I can play all day and the wolf can't catch me." He spent the rest of the day playing his flute and having a grand old time. The second little pig was a bit more practical than his brother, but he was also in a hurry. He wanted a house that was a little sturdier than straw, but he still didn't want to spend all his time building. Soon he came across a man with a cart full of sticks. "Aha," he thought. "Sticks are much stronger than straw, and it still won't take too long to build a house." He politely asked the man, "Excuse me, kind sir, could I have some of your sticks to build my house?" The man agreed, and the second little pig began his work. He gathered the sticks, tying them together and weaving them into walls. It took him a whole day, which was longer than his brother took. But by evening, his house of sticks stood ready. It looked a bit more solid than the straw house, and he was quite proud. He wiped the sweat from his brow and said, "My house of sticks is strong and tall. Now I can relax and have a ball." Now, the third little pig was different. He remembered his mother's words very clearly. "Whatever you do, do it with all your heart and build it strong." He wasn't interested in taking shortcuts. He knew that a truly safe home required time, effort, and the right materials. He walked past the fields of straw and the piles of sticks, continuing down the road until he saw a man with a wagon full of heavy red bricks. "This is it," he thought. "This is what I need to build a proper house, a house that will keep me safe from any danger." He went up to the man and asked, Please, sir, may I buy some of your bricks to build my house? The man sold him the bricks, and the third little pig began the long, hard work. He worked day after day. He mixed the mortar. He carefully laid each brick one on top of the other, making sure every wall was straight and strong. He built a sturdy wooden door and a strong roof. His brothers would often visit, teasing him. "Why are you working so hard?" They'd laugh. "Come and play with us." But the third little pig just shook his head and kept on working. "I'm building a house that will last," he'd say, "safety first, fun later." Finally, after many days of labor, his brick house was complete. It was a fine, solid little house with a warm fireplace and a chimney. He felt very safe and proud inside. It wasn't long before the big bad wolf came strolling through the woods. He was big, he was bad, and he was very, very hungry. His sharp eyes spotted the little straw house first. He licked his lips and crept up to the door. He could hear the first little pig inside, happily playing his flute. The wolf knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in his deepest, gravelly voice. The little pig peeked through a crack and saw the wolf's big teeth. "No, no, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," he squeaked, his voice trembling. The wolf just chuckled. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." And he took a deep breath and he huffed, and the little straw house blew away in a cloud of dust. The first little pig squealed in terror and ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house of sticks. He burst through the door, shouting, the wolf is coming." The two pigs quickly barred the door just as the wolf arrived. The wolf, even hungrier now, knocked on the stick door. Thump, thump, thump. Little pigs, let me come in," he roared. "No, no, not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." They both cried out from inside. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," the wolf bellowed. He took a great big breath, bigger than before, and he huffed ... and he puffed, and the house of sticks began to creak and groan. He gave another mighty puff, and the stick house collapsed into a pile of twigs. The two little pigs, now completely terrified, ran for their lives. They scrambled and squealed, heading straight for their brother's brick house. They pounded on the sturdy wooden door. "Brother, let us in. The big bad wolf is coming." The third little pig opened the door quickly, let his two panicked brothers inside, and slammed it shut, locking the heavy bolt just as the wolf arrived, panting and furious. The wolf hammered on the door. Bam, bam. Little pigs, let me come in," he snarled, his eyes glowing with rage. "No, no, not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The three pigs shouted back together, feeling much braver behind the strong brick walls. The wolf was angrier than ever. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," he screamed. So he huffed and he puffed. He huffed and he puffed and he puffed. His face turned red, then blue, but the brick house didn't even shake. Not one brick moved. The wolf was completely out of breath, slumped against the wall, defeated. But he was a crafty wolf. He wasn't going to give up that easily. He looked up and saw the chimney. He thought with a wicked grin. I'll climb onto the roof and slide down the chimney. Then I'll have them all for my dinner. But the third little pig was not only hard-working, he was also very clever. He heard the wolf scrambling on the roof and guessed his plan. Quick as a flash, he told his brothers, "Quick, help me with the fireplace." They put a big pot of water on the fire and stoked the flames high. The wolf squeezed himself into the chimney and began to slide down. He was thinking of the delicious meal he was about to have. But instead of landing in the room, he fell right into the pot of boiling water. Yet, with an ear-splitting shriek, the wolf shot back up the chimney like a rocket and ran away into the forest, yelping with a very sore tail. He was never seen in that part of the woods again. The three little pigs cheered. They danced around the room, safe and sound. The first two pigs thanked their brother over and over again. They had learned a very important lesson that day. From then on, they understood that it's always best to do things the right way with care and hard work, because taking shortcuts can lead to big trouble. And they all lived happily and safely ever after in the strong little house of bricks. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more classic tales. See you next time.